Okay. Hi to my 20 subscribers. Okay. This video is going to be about this book. I had a dream about a book that I was flipping through a book like this, and it had a Confederate soldier on it. I think that's Confederate soldier. So I saw this book in Benton at the gas station. So I was like, I want to buy that book. So, okay, it's called The Boy of Battle Ford, W.S. Blackman, with an introduction by John Musgrave. Okay, so this is the only one that I found that had a Confederate soldier on it so far. So, okay. On the back it says, William S. Blackman turned 21 a few weeks after the fall of Fort Sumter and the start of an American Civil War. More than 4 decades later, he used his war journals to write his autobiography. From his boyhood years on Battle Ford in southern Illinois to his own life and death experiences on the battlefield, Blackman finds the lessons of life in his own struggles for both survival as well as for his soul. Evidently, he autographed every one of them or something. I didn't look on the inside of the book, but yeah, there's his autograph, evidently. January 3rd, 2021. Okay. Okay. A tribute to the fortitude, the patience, and the fellowship of my faithful wife through 38 and 1/2 years of service amidst hardships and bereavements and disappointments, to the memory of my deceased but much beloved mother, who led and prayed for me when I did not know how to pray for myself, and later encouraged me in my stewardship till death claimed her for his own, and to the glory of the saints of God in all the eyes of the past, whose loyalty to his truth and consecration to Hill will have been a stream of blessing flowing down the ages. I humbly dedicate these pages, praying that it may be a blessing to thousands who shall read it. The author. Okay. But our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded and minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, shine into their hearts, knowing that he which raised up the Lord Jesus shall also raise up us also by Jesus, and shall present us with you. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and external weight of glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. 2 Corinthians 4, 3, and 4. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. 1 Corinthians 15, 51, 52. I had that dream that my mom was playing a trumpet and she was in red. Like back in 2010, 2011, something like that. I still haven't looked that up in the Bible. I'm going to do that eventually. Okay, anyway. So, anyway. Okay, introduction. There's just something about the title of this book, The Boy of Battle Ford, that has always drawn my attention. Librarians classify it as a personal narrative and place it in the Civil War history section, but to me, it's always served as a Southern Illinois classic, a first-hand account of growing up here in the land called Egypt. William Stephen Blackman first saw the light of day in 1840, though it seems only family genealogists use his full name. His initials, W.S., worked just fine, though if a writer felt generous, we might see a William S. Blackman. I would say that's what W.M. stands for. Much like my research into John Hart Crenshaw's Hickory Hill plantation home, I didn't expect to find my own relatives involved in the story. Just as Crenshaw married one of my great-something aunts, Sina Taylor, so did Blackman when he married Elmira Miller. Even his stepfather shows up on my family tree as an uncle a few generations back. Other relatives popped up in his stories and not must mine. I think that might be not just mine. But other people I know and might have worked with over the years here in the region. While only a few of the chapters focus on the boy of Battle Ford, most turn their attention on the young man and his experiences during the war. He turned 21 in the weeks after Fort Sumter and would have been 22 when he enlisted. A new school teacher and still single. His portrait shows his youth. It seems cliche to say it was a time of great struggle for Blackman, but for him, the physical dangers of life on the battlefield paralleled his eternal fight between intellect and faith. The fight in this world for what would happen in the next. He didn't set out to write a history of his regiment, the 120th Illinois Infantry, but his own personal faith journey and how he found God. His stories and accounts do serve as a substitute regimental history, though especially since no one else wrote one. The 120th organized a Camp Butler outside of Springfield, Illinois, on October 28, 1862, by the consolidation of 7 companies recruited for the 120th at Vienna, Illinois, and 3 companies recruited for the 132 Infantry at Shawneetown. Blackman's company had been part of the latter and eventually became Company G of the new consolidated 120th. After railroad bridge guard duty at Jimtown and later Alton, they finally moved into the Confederacy when they were ordered to Memphis in November 1862. Over the next 3 years, they would fight battles and skirmishes in the area of the lower Mississippi River, including the siege of Vicksburg, Mississippi, and the affiliated Sturgis's expedition to Guntown. Blackman doesn't refight the battles so much as he shows us sketches of the men who fought beside him and the lessons of their lives. W.P. Throgmorton wrote the introduction for the book when Blackman first published it in 1906. The title hooked him too. This book has a unique title. It is, in that respect, like the man who has written it. He is unique. I have known him for about 34 years and have always marked this characteristic. He has ever had his own way of saying things and his own way of doing things. There are a few technical notes that must be added. This is an abridged version. The 3 sermons Blackman wrote, which took up a fifth of his original book, have not been included, as well as a 3,500-word dissertation on the question of open versus closed communion in Baptist churches. Likewise, I didn't include W.P. Throgmorton's original introduction, as he served to introduce the book to contemporary readers in 1906. I felt a new introduction needed for modern-day readers. John Musgrave, IllinoisHistory.com, October 28th, 2014. And there's a picture of him. Let's see. W.S. Blackman during the Civil War. Okay, so that's the introduction for that book. Okay. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.